Hello everyone, my name is Benji and welcome back to Dyson Sphere Program, where last time we finished up our ginormous, and by ginormous I mean quite tiny in the grand scheme of things actually, but decent starter factory for our oil processing, and we got hydrogen online, which is going to be used down here for red science. But first and foremost, I brought over the Mark I proliferators, which have also themselves been proliferated, and we are going to be using this to proliferate all of our science. So I transferred all of the science that we currently have created from this chest to this chest, so that it can all go into the proliferator and be turned into more efficient science. And now that will all be stored in the bin. And we also have more proliferation ability over here, so we're just going to go on ahead and plonk this down. And I don't currently need a splitter, so I'm not currently going to have a splitter, and we're just going to do that. We have our energetic graphite here and done with. The next piece that we need, of course, is our hydrogen, which I'm going to do something a little unpopular, and instead of ripping this belt out and making it again, actually no, that's exactly what I'm going to do, hang on. We're just going to completely rip this belt out, because I can't stand to have a belt go all the way this way and then turn around when I could just make a new belt that doesn't turn around. It'll take roughly the same amount of time. The only annoying bit is the fact that I actually have to go through like this and reconnect each of the belts to it. But that's fine because it gives my robots time to go through all of it and place all of the belts, which is always a pain for my robots to be just moving and grooving. Even late game, robot speed is a pain, because you get these huge blueprints. What's one that actually makes sense to you guys right now? Probably this one will make sense. But you get these huge blueprints like this, and even bigger ones, and it takes forever for your robots to actually do anything. And there are upgrades that make it faster and make it a little more bearable, but at the same time, it's still an absolute trip. Like, it is still a total nuisance to get it to work properly. And for this, actually, it looks like I can just do the same thing, where I have the belt go in from the one side and not the other. And once we get this belt all hooked up, we will have red science ready to rock and roll. So I'm going to finish up the belt, and I'll be right back. And just like that, the belt is complete. The red science is underway. And I went on ahead, I added a little bit of a flow valve for these guys, just so they don't back up and stop my hydrogen from working. So now we have red cubes, and the red cubes are actually slightly more of these buildings than the hydrogen can actually keep up with, but that is a-okay. Ooh, I actually need to put... I may as well upgrade these while I'm here. And get rid of that. And then upgrade these bad boys as well. Then I can put that there. I also have a ton of hydrogen in my inventory, so I'm just going to put as much of it as I can into these guys. And just like that, red science has been completed. So, what should we prioritize? Well, we're still rushing planetary logic, which requires microprocessors, thrusters, which require steel and all the good stuff. This or not steel, titanium and all the good stuff, as well as just a whole bunch of other stuff. So that requires this, which requires the magnetic levitation, which are the green turbines, just like that. And now, if we go back up here, we can do that. This requires thruster, like we said. Where is thruster? Thruster is here, which requires hydrogen fuel rod, and then thruster. And now we can come up here. Requires vertical construction level 1, which actually is an upgrade. Vertical construction level 1. And let's see if we can do it now. Yes, we can. Perfection. Now, the other issue with that, planetary logic is the fact that we're going to need titanium. And titanium is only found on other planets. I can't actually do anything titanium here. So what we need is Drive Engine 2, which requires Mecha Core level 2, like that. I'm pretty sure it requires something else. No, it does not. And that is that. Unlocks Mecha Sail. So now we can move from this planet to another. And after this is finished researching, we're going to go on ahead and we will queue vein utilization. Just like that, red science is fully completed. I might actually be able to upgrade this just a touch. We'll only do it a little bit. Just a little bit to boost our initial red science. Oh! Another problem seems to be these labs aren't good enough, so we'll go on ahead and we'll do that as well. And that should speed things up significantly. What's your problem? Oh, your problem's blue science. I definitely have enough blue science moving along. That's not a question. Blue science should be perfectly fine. I might go on ahead and add in another one of these bad boys. Just to make sure doubly that these guys are full belts. Oh, the problem is here. So let's downgrade the inflows, because we want the outflow to be faster than the inflow. We just want the inflow to be over time. Also, now we have the upgraded turbine, which means we can come in here, go to upgrade, queue vein utilization, because that's going to be important. Yeah, we want it to be slower on the input than on the output. So that's perfect. There we go. We're officially good on that. So next up, we're going to need an outlet for our petroleum. So I actually want to clear all of this for the crystals. So I'll take care of that. I won't make you guys watch me do a whole bunch of tree clearing by hand like this. I'll get back to you all shortly with the next automation line. Now that that space is all nice and fully cleared out, we have a decent amount of crafting that we have to do. Specifically, I think I'm going to go for sulfuric acid. So this machine is a 1-to-1 in terms of petroleum. And let me go on ahead and double check my numbers once again. Why did I get rid of that tab? I'm stupid. So we have 5 petroleum per second. Each of these is a 1 per second, so we can just straight up do... We'll probably end up doing, honestly, 4 of these, and then 1 for plastic, 4 of the sulfuric acid, and then 1 of them for plastic. So let's leave some room for belts. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 2 for plastic. Chemical plant. Yes, I am aware. So, sulfuric acid, and we'll go on ahead and copy-paste that recipe, and then we'll do plastic up here, like so. This requires water and stone. The stone, I actually have not looked at where we can get it. Probably from up here, although that's actually pretty tapped out. The water, though, is the easy part. Water is always the easy part of sulfuric acid. So let's take a look around for stone. There's stone up here. There's also stone here. And then there's this stone right here. Which I honestly could just put splitters on these because they're not using full belts and they're only for the hub anyway. So I may as well honestly do that. And if we do that, we can... Wrong. Switch all of these around like so. And then like I said, the water is the super duper easy part. We literally can just come right over here and just put a bunch of them down. Need liquid source. Oh, come on, it wouldn't let me place those 3. And then that collides with object. So we'll do those 3. And I guess those 2, and that'll be fine. So these guys are pretty fun in the fact that they each have a belt output. So I actually need to belt them all together like that. And then this can go down. Actually, no, it can't go down yet. It has to go over the oil first. Then it can go down. And then this can come up and meet it. And this will be the first... No. This will be the second belt on the sulfuric acid belt line. Like this. And then the stone will be the first belt on the line. And then the petroleum can just kind of come this way and this way. I'm out of belts. I was afraid that was going to happen when I was starting to work on projects like this. Like, these huge belt-heavy projects are just ridiculous in terms of belting. So with the sulfuric acid, we're going to end up producing graphene, which, shocker, requires the energetic graphite, as does the plastic. Because why would it not require energetic graphite? So this is our energetic graphite belt. It's just going to wrap the whole way around. The plastic's going to go do its own thing in like a storage bin somewhere. And the sulfuric acid is going to go straight into graphene production. Graphene production is going to be really good for not Mark II belts, but Mark III belts. No, Mark III belts use carbon nanotubes. Never mind. What is graphene used for, actually? I know it's important, I just don't think I actually have anything unlocked as of yet that utilizes it. So that's currently the issue I'm running into, is I forget what it's used for. But I do know it's useful, so it's going to be worth it to have and to cherish. So we'll have it, we'll do it, it'll be fine. I'm going to grab some chargers as well. Which I don't know if I've showed this off on camera, but yeah, these guys charge you. I know I've mentioned it, I don't know if I've actually showed it off yet, is the thing. They block my path. There. Uh-oh. This was supposed to be a stone belt. Well, it's an energetic graphite belt now. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I can put a stone belt here. Take it like this. And then I can take a sulfuric acid belt. And I can bring it the whole way down. And then wrap it. And then take the energetic graphite belt and do the same. And then we can take a chemistry lab line it up properly, grab it, make graphene like this. Yeah. And then we'll have its own little path. I think I'll do 4 machines. Oh, come on. You can't... Fine. If you can't just do it anyway, I'll actually measure the darn stuff. That is the one thing that I like better about Factorio and Satisfactory, is the fact that even if something doesn't connect, you can still place down like a ghost and then just figure out the rest of the issue later. Like, that's super, super nice. That's a very big quality of life thing that I think this game needs to have in it. Like, that is huge quality of life. And then bring this to here, bring it up, and it can do its own thing. We'll use it later, probably. If not, it's fine. We don't really need a whole ton of it anyway, as far as I remember. At least not until later in the game. Later in the game, you need tons of plastic. Thruster research has been completed. These are all backwards, I'm realizing. Man, I do not have it together right now. I really don't have it together right now. And then back here, we're going to need this line to come the whole way down. And then we have stone, water, and petroleum. Wait for the belts to be built, because if they don't build the belts, it doesn't build the inserters. Or, well, sorters, I guess they're called, but whatever. I don't really care. Alright, good. I can place these in the sneaky cheater spot. I love the sneaky cheater spot. There we go. And there we go. And now we have sulfuric acid ready, this ready, and the graphene ready while we're doing our research. And then I can come up here to our energetic graphite line, and I can just pull it literally the whole way up here. And then it's going to need to go up and over the oil and then back down again. I just ran out of power, so let's grab a charger. And then the last piece I'm going to need is the stone, which isn't super far, all things considered. So let me go on ahead and go place the line in for this. And then I will build everything off camera, so you guys don't have to worry about boringness. Have that be the priority. And then have it come... Where's the oil extractor? Where's the oil extractor? Where's the oil extractor? Let's have it come up this line. Yeah, that's perfect. I just need to move this. Which I can do. I can move it to there. And then boom, we have stone. And we are all ready to go. I just need to charge and let this build, and I'll be back momentarily. We have just begun our final piece of research for the actual planetary logic system. And I gotta tell you guys, I'm hype. I'm so excited to have planetary logic, because once we have planetary logic, I can actually start on legitimate designs and legitimate long-term base building. We can start on our actual like smelting arrays and our just craziness that's going to end up happening. Also, we have everything hooked in now, so the sulfuric acid is moving and grooving along. The plastic as well seems to be moving and grooving along quite nicely. And then, of course, the graphite is now, or graphene is now actually moving and grooving as well. Now, the graphene, we are going to be storing the graphene like so, because graphene is important. Graphene is important because of a handy-dandy little thing called purple tubes, which we don't have yet. The purple tubes there. When do we get purple tubes? It's not titanium smelting, although titanium smelting is mega important. We're gonna need that. It's not the high-speed replicator. It's not mini fusion. It's not deuterium. We're gonna need this. The titanium crystal, the yellow stuff, but that's like later tier stuff. This gives us the reinforced thruster, which is just a whole thing. Here it is, the purple tube, the particle container. Graphene, green motors, and copper. Green motors are an iron sink. I don't think they're a copper sink, I think they're just an iron sink. Blue motors are also an iron sink. Very, very much so, an iron sink, and a little bit of coal. No, these guys do take a little bit of copper as well. And then the X-ray cracking is also going to be important so that we stop using coal for our red science, which we'll get to at a later date. For now, I think that's what's most important, especially the particle traps. The particle traps are going to be really, really important. But the next thing that I would like to focus on, since we have the power grid space for it at the moment, we're only halfway on our actual capabilities, is focusing on green motors. Now, motors are a bit of a trip in this game, and I do believe, if I'm not mistaken, I have a Google Sheet for motors. I do, in fact, have a Google Sheet for motors. So the electromagnetic turbine is one of them, and I'll go on ahead and switch over to my desktop view. So here's the desktop view currently. If we want if we want 2 of these green motors out, we need 20 iron in and 4 copper in. So that's obviously unattainable. If we get that down to 1, that drops the iron a very decent amount, but still not enough. It doesn't drop it enough to get it down to 6 iron, because there's 4 iron needed here, 4 iron needed here, and 2 iron needed here. So if we drop this down to 0.5, or even 0.75, but that starts getting 0.5s and stuff. But if we drop it down to 0.5, we need 5 iron and 1 copper, which is entirely doable. So let me bring you guys back to the game screen here. As soon as OBS wants to cooperate, there we go. So we need to find a place that has some iron and some copper and some free space. And it looks like there's an area here that would be good for motors in general, because blue motors are going to be a thing. But I think we won't end up getting to blue motors by the time that we're actually doing something that matters. So there's this little copper patch here, our starter copper patch, and then there's a lot of iron that's currently untapped, and I can get rid of all these turbines now. So I think we'll make it there, because the rest of the planet is just coal, oil and open space. So we're going to migrate back up to our starting zone from way long time ago, up here. And then we will clear this space and begin anew. Always exciting to be starting a new project. And there it is! Planetary Logistics Systems has been officially achieved. So if we go in here, we see the planetary logic system requires processors, which require these microchips, which require the silica, which is a whole trip in and of itself. That's going to be a different planet's job. It also requires titanium, which is going to be a different planet's job, and then those particle traps, which we actually don't have yet. But I did show off that crafting recipe. It's the copper, the green motors, these guys, the EMAG turbines, and then, excuse me, the graphene. So that'll be something that we have to do in order to automate the planetary logistics stations, or even just craft them in the first place. And then the other thing is the drones, which require thrusters, which require a little bit of silica, but actually not anything else. Just steel and copper, and that's it. So that's actually not bad. That's not bad at all. Alright, that should be enough space. This is its own grid now. We're going to fix that because I still want it to be connected to the other grid. Just like I still want this to be connected up to the other grid. I don't want it to not be connected into the main grid. I just need this space here for the little bit of copper and the little bit of iron smelting that we're going to have to do. So let's go on ahead and start setting all of that up. We're going to need a full smelting array, even though some of it's going to be dedicated to... hang on a second. Some of it needs to be dedicated to the actual magnets, yes. So there are magnets that need to be involved. So we can actually do that here-ish. Let's call it a little bit over here. 1, 2, 3, and then 1. Because we need 3 smelters for the magnets, 1 smelter for the copper. So this guy will be our copper. This guy will be our magnets. We'll have the iron coming in from this side. And then we'll have the copper coming in from this side. We'll have the copper just deposit straight into one of these. And then we'll have the magnets come along and do much the same. Drive engine level 2 has now been achieved. So we can go into space now. And I'll actually go on ahead while we're working on this and show that off. So if you keep holding space, you go into space, and then if you hold shift, you go faster. But I don't have a whole ton of fuel or anything as of yet, so I'm gonna go on ahead and land myself right back where we were and make sure that I have more fuel whenever I go out on a legitimate expedition. So anyway, that's that completely and entirely finished. Next up is going to be the legitimate iron smelters, which this is 2 of our iron, which means that we need 3 more for actual iron smelting. We'll just put these, let's say, here. We'll have the iron coming up, and then the iron going down. And then we'll grab this, make it iron, put this here, like so. And we'll have the copper coils outputting on something that goes like this. And then right next to it, we'll have a machine that takes the iron and turns it into gears. Like this. And like this. And then we're going to need 2 machines for the actual motor piece of things. So we'll do this. And drag these down. These guys will be my motors. So they require these. And then we'll mirror it like that instead. And then that will go into 1 machine. Man, I'm making this nice and compact. This is actually kind of sweet. And this will be our actual electromagnetic turbine. Oh no. Oh no. Did I mess this up? No, I did not mess this up. Okay. Okay, I did not mess up anything except for the placement of the iron. Because this needs to happen. This is how it needs to go. So these guys do need to output onto a belt that's going to go like this. And then this belt is going to do something similar. Just like that. This is going to be the electromagnetic turbine. And then finally, that will deposit itself. Nah, we'll put it on a belt, because I don't really see a reason not to put it on a belt. We don't need it to go into storage. Oh yeah, that's going to cause issues, isn't it? We don't need these guys to go into storage. We just need them now put onto a belt. So there you go. A little bit of a compact design here. I'm not going to copy it because I don't see this being useful anywhere except for where we just, did it. But now we can hook in our outputs. I don't feel the need to pause because this won't take all that long for me to just put down 2 like auto miners. And then we can actually make it even better by just routing it like that. And then we can power these guys with a wind turbine, get some free energy out of it. And then over here we already have our copper mine. We just actually need to have it done. There we go. We just got our mining compensation as well. So that's fantastic. We're going to connect in the iron to the magnet piece. Perfect. And then we're going to go over here and connect in our copper piece as well. As you can see, motors are certainly an iron sink. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's literally just an iron sink. Blue motors even more so, because every single blue motor takes like 2 of these green motors. So that's always fun. Let's go on ahead and watch this. We have achieved our goal for today of getting to planetary logistics. Next time, we will be focusing on getting everything ready to move to a new planet. And we will be traveling to this one. Assad Australis number 1. Because it's got tons of titanium and tons of silica. Well, not tons, but a decent amount of silica. And we need lots of titanium and not a lot of silica. Look at those green motors. I actually am going to store some of these. I know I said I wasn't going to, but I feel like I may as well. No, I'm not going to store many. I'll just store a couple. Just like that. That'll be fine. So that is it for today. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this episode of Dyson Sphere Program. I know I certainly have, and I certainly am enjoying playing this game from the start again with a new mindset and rushing planetary logistics. But thank you, everybody, so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. Without further ado, adios, sayonara, au revoir, hasta la vista, das vidania, avida zien, ciao, and goodbye. Please have yourselves all a wonderful day. Get some sleep if you need to. Don't forget to stay hydrated, and I will see you guys in the next one. This video is in the bag. Later, y'all. Have a good one.